Hello everyone, I am Anushka Sharma. Today I am solving the end semester test paper of data science. So let's start. So here the question number 1 is take a real world problem and explain how each crisp DM phase would be applied to address this problem and include at least one specific task under each phase. So the crisp is standard for cross industry standard process for data mining. It is a popular 6 phase methodology used to guide data mining project from start to finish. The phase are business understanding, data preparation, modeling, evaluation and deployment. So the real world problem is predicting customers' crunch for the telecommunication company. The goal is to identify customers who are likely to cancel their services so the company can invert. The first one is business understanding. The focus is understand the project object from the business perspective. The specific task is to define a crunch, example, a customer who hasn't made a call in 30 days and set a success criteria. For example, reduce crunch rate by 10% within 6 months. The second one is data understanding. The focus is to collect essential data and get familiar with it. The specific task is to gather historical data like call logs, billings histories, customer app complaints, and perform explanatory visualization to see if the high bills correlate the crunch. The third one is data preparation. It focuses on clean and conduct the final dataset for modeling. The specific task is to handle missing values like impute missing ages and transform variables. For example, convert call duration from seconds to minute. The fourth one is modeling. Focus on select and apply various modeling techniques, and specific task is to select data in training 80% and testing 20%, set and train the logistic regression model and the decision tree model. The fifth one is evaluation, which focuses on evaluate the model to ensure it meets the business objective, and the specific task is to calculate the recall of model to ensure we are catching the majority of actual crunches, even if it is mean to be false alarms. And the sixth one is realize the model into production, and the specific task is to integrate the model into a call center dashboard so the agent get a risk alert pop up when the talking of the high risk customer. So now the question number first B part. Differentiate between structured, unstructured, quantitative, and categorical data with a suitable real-world examples. So here the structured data, the data organized in defined format like rows and columns, easily readable by machine is called structured data. It's stored in a relation database models like SQL, Excels, and analysis is the easy to query using SQL or a basic algorithms. We can extract and access these data. The real world example is an airline tickets database like flight number, date, seats, etc. Okay, so the unstructured data is the data with no specific format or the structure and hard for machine to process directly, like data lakes, no SQL databases like MongoDB and file system. And it require a complex processing like NLP, image recognition to access the data. And the real world example of unstructured data is customer reviews like text ho gaya, surveillance video footage, emails, etc. etc. Now, the quantitative data is a numerical data that represent amount, counts, or measurements. It's stored as integers and floats, and it's used for the arithmetic calculations like mean, sum, etc. The real world example of quantitative data is a height, temperature, sales revenues, and the last one is categorical data, the data that represent the group name, labels, or characteristics. And it's stored as a string, enums, and booleans. And it is used for classification and grouping. For example, gender that can be male or female, a product type like laptop, phone, colors, etc. Now, question number 2, A part. Demonstrate an algorithm that uses Bayes' theorem that solve a small example where prior probabilities and likelihoods are given. The algorithm is Navy Bayes classification. The formula of Navy's Bayes classification is as on the screen. You can see PA by B equals to PA dash B dot PA upon my PB. For example, like a medical diagnosis of a specific disease D, the problem is to calculate the probability of a patient has a disease D given they tested positive. Okay, the given data is a prior and livelihoods like a prior probability of disease PD is equals to 0.01, like 1% of people have the disease, and the prior probability of no disease is 0.99%. Okay, the likelihood is sensitive probability of positive test given by the disease is 0.95, and the likelihood false alarms like probability of positive test given by no diseases is 0.05. Now we calculate the total probability of evidence. So we calculate the total probability of evidence, which is 0.059, and then apply a Bayes theorem on this. So by applying the Bayes theorem, we get the answer is 0.161. So the conclusion will be that even with the positive test, there is only 61.1% chances of the patient actually has their disease due to disease being rare. Now, question number second B part. Compare the binomial, normal, and Poisson distribution in terms of their assumptions and applications. Now, first one is binomial distribution. The type is discrete probability distribution. Assumption, fixed numerical traits like n and the two mutable exclusives output and the success and failure constant probability. The shape is the skewed if p is not equals to 0.5, symmetric if n is large. Application, quality control like pass, fail, and coin toss, and the survey responses like yes and no. Normal distribution, whereas continued probability distribution. The data is a symmetric around the mean, like bell curve, defined by the mean and standard deviation, like sigma and mu. The shape is perfectly symmetrical bell shape. For example, height, weight of population, test score, measurement errors, etc. etc. And now the Poisson distribution is discrete probability distribution. It events occur independently at a constant average rate with a fixed interval of time and space. Skewed right position, positive skewed, becomes asymmetric as lambda increases. The number of emails per hour, the number of traffic accidents per day, call center volumes. Now, question number 3. Explain the data modeling process with a suitable example. The data modeling process or a data munging is the process of cleaning, structuring, and enriching raw data into a desired format for better decision making. For example, wrangling a raw scale data.csv file from the retail store. First one is discovery. Action is to inspect the data to understand its structure. For example, you notice date column with a different format dd mmyy versus mmddyy, and there's a missing value in customer's age. So the second one is structuring. The action is to organize the data. For example, rename ambitious columns. For example, like change column A to transaction ID and reshape wide data like month as column into the long data like one row per month. Okay. Then third one is cleaning. The action is to remove errors and handle missing data. For example, remove duplicate transaction rows and filling missing custom age with the media age and correct spelling of error of the city name like New York to New York. Then fourth one is enriching. The enriching augmented data with new information. For example, like we create a new column total expend by multiplying quantity into unit price and add a region column based on the zip code. Then fifth one is validating. The action is to verify quality and consistency. For example, we ensure the total expense contain no negative number and date is now uniform across all rows. Now question number 3 B part. What is the difference between errors and artifacts in data cleaning? Explain any two imputation techniques also. So first we differentiate the error and artifacts. So in data errors, incorrect value deviating from the truth value due to mistakes. And the cause of data errors is human typo, sensor manipulation, transition noise. And how to handle the data errors can often be corrected or deleted. For example, entering age 200, that is typo error by humans. Now, on the other hand, data artifacts. This is a semantic anomalies result from the data processing, arguments, and logic itself. And the cause of data artifacts is compressing algorithms and file conversion glitches and pre-processing bugs. How to handle data artifacts? Usually required fixing the resource processing pipelines and hard to remove individuals. For example, blocking pattern in the image due to JPG's compression. Now, imputation techniques handling missing values. Here are two techniques. First one is mean median mode imputation, and second one is k nearest neighbor KNN imputation. And the concept of mean median mode imputation is replacing the missing value with statistical average that the columns. And the concept of k nearest neighbor is to find the k row that is the most similar to the row with the missing data based on the other features and use their value to estimate the missing one. है ना? Now move to the next question. Question number 4. A part. Explain any four common features engineering techniques for the continuous and categorical data. The first one is on-hot encoding. It is for categorical data. It converts the categorical variables into the binary matrix format. Each category is become a new column with zeros and ones. For example, column color red blue becomes a column, becomes two column is red 0 1 and is blue 1 0. Okay, the second one is binning and discretization for continuous data, and it converts the continuous numerical variables into the discrete bins and intervals to handle outliners and simplify the models. For example, grouping age equals to 0 to 100 into bins child, adult, and seniors. And third one is min max scaling, normalization for continuous data. It rescales features to the fixed range, usually 0 to 1. This ensures large number do not dominate the model. And the formula for min-max scaling is on the screen. And the fourth one is log transformation for continuous data, applying a algorithm to the data to reduce skewness and handle data that spans several orders to magnitude. Example, applying logs to income data to make the distribution more normal, bell-shaped. Now, fourth question B part for the dataset on the given question, compute mean, median mode, and standard deviation, and explain when to use each cases. Okay. So the data set you can see on the screen, and we have the sorted data, and the count is total 7. So we calculate the mean of this data, which is comes 17.428. And the uses of mean is when used when the data is symmetric and has no extreme outliners. Okay, and then we calculate mean, median, and the median is median of this data set is 15, and the uses of median is used when the data is skewed and has outliners as it is robust. And third one is mode, the value that appears most frequently. So we can see in the data set the 12 and 15 appears two times. So it is bimodal, and the mode of this data set is 12 and 15, and uses of this data set is used for the categorical data and find the most popular item. Okay, for standard deviation, the formula is on the screen, and you calculate the standard deviation by using the mean. On the screen, the correct answer is 6.27, and the uses of this to use the measure of spread and